What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool news video, and in this video we will talk about Guardiola and his comments on the title race. But first, let me wish you all happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. And Guardiola has admitted that Man City catching Liverpool in the title race is pretty unrealistic. So what do you think about his comments? And I will tell you in detail what exactly Guardiola said about the title race. But first, I want to give you an injury update on Oxlade-Chamberlain as well in this video. But first, let me show you that Liverpool updated the Champions Wall. We have a brand new trophy, the Club World Cup trophy. For the first time ever, Liverpool won this trophy. And I'm just so happy, super happy. The Jurgen Klopp era is well and truly up and running with 3 trophies won in 2019, and we can add to that in 2020 with hopefully a Premier League trophy, maybe another Champions League or another FA Cup trophy. So first, let me update you guys on Oxlade-Chamberlain's injury. So this is what Jurgen Klopp said. With Oxlade-Chamberlain, you have 3 ligaments in the ankle. One of them is damaged. He's not available to play in this year. He has no chance to play. I did the injury myself actually as a player, and it was years ago. It can take a while to recover, or it can go away quickly. There is no chance for him to play again this year. We just have to see how it settles, and he could be back sooner or later. And Liverpool have a few injury problems, so the Leicester and the Wolves games will be very tough during this Christmas schedule, because Liverpool have Wijnaldum, Fabinho and Oxlade-Chamberlain out from their midfield. So probably Naby Keita, Henderson and James Milner will start in midfield, but we shall wait and see what Jurgen Klopp does with the midfield. And now let's listen to Guardiola and what he had to say about the title race. When Liverpool, a team that has 16 victories from 17, it's unrealistic to think that we, Man City, going to chase them and catch them. It's unrealistic right now to even think about it. We have to try to win our games, secure Champions League qualification for next season, and then you never know. If Liverpool drop a couple of games and we win, and that we win, I don't know that we will, but when one team loses just one game in the last 53 or 54 games, I'm not optimistic they are going to lose 4 or 5 in the next 10 or 11 games, because they are incredibly strong. So we must relax and play like this, and we will see in the end what happens. Hopefully Leicester can make a good performance against Liverpool, but we have to think about our incredibly tough game against Wolves with Adama Traore and Raul Jimenez. I think Guardiola is saying that at the moment it's just almost impossible to catch Liverpool. Liverpool lost only once in the past 1.5 seasons so far in the Premier League. So is there a big chance Liverpool could lose another 4 or 5 games between now and the rest of the season? Well, it can happen because of the injuries and because of Liverpool having so many games in a row. But the thing is, and luckily for Liverpool, Man City are a lot more shaky than Liverpool, and Man City also have a lot of injury problems, even though Aguero just coming back from fitness, from an injury layoff, and coming back into full fitness is the welcome boost that Manchester City needed. But I think what Man City will really struggle with is that they have about 48 hours between playing Wolves and Sheffield United. And you know that Sheffield United are a really tough team. They have an incredible defense, and they are actually in 5th place in the Premier League. So I think that the schedule is in favor of Liverpool actually, but Liverpool have the additional problem of traveling all the way to Qatar and from Qatar back to Anfield, and also we have to go to Leicester, but we have 1 more day's rest than Manchester City, and also we will have 1 more day's rest than Wolves, because Wolves play the day after Liverpool play, and then we will have the Liverpool-Wolves game on the 29th of December, and Wolves play on the 27th of December. They actually have less than 48 hours. They have like 45 hours between the 2 games. So it's pretty much impossible for Wolves to play the same two teams. And I think at home they probably will play their strongest lineup, and then maybe against Liverpool away from home they will play a little bit of a weaker lineup. Well, at least I'm hoping so. Liverpool also will have to rotate because we have 3 days between the playing Leicester and Wolves, two of our toughest games. I think Leicester and Wolves are two of the best teams outside of the top 6, and you could argue that this season Leicester and Wolves are actually as strong as the rest of the top 6. They are definitely stronger than teams like Manchester United, Arsenal, and even Tottenham. I would put Tottenham in this bracket as well. Those three big teams are really struggling this season. So I think Guardiola is not giving up on the title, but what he's saying here is that until Liverpool have a major wobble and lose 3 or 4 games in like 7 or 8, it's almost impossible to catch them. And I don't think Guardiola will give up on the title. Manchester City will go really, really hard. And I think it will decide who wins the title this December and January period, because this is where I can see Liverpool dropping points. And it's a case of will Liverpool drop points more often than Manchester City, and we will drop a lot more points than Manchester City. I can still see Manchester City going on a winning run, but when the January period rolls around and in the middle of January, Liverpool have a little bit of a more rest, and that's where I can see the injuries coming back. Fabinho will be back, probably Matip, Lovren, Oxlade-Chamberlain might be back by then. Wijnaldum definitely will be back by then. So I think that this is the period, the end of December and the first 2-3 weeks of January. This is the period that Liverpool have to survive without dropping too many points to win the title. Because if we lose 3 or 4 games in these 1.5 months and Liverpool and Man City go on and win like all of their games, or maybe draw one and win the rest, then they could cut the gap back to 7 or 8 points, and that's where I will be worried, because they already clawed back a 7-point lead last season. I think what Liverpool need to do is just concentrate on the next game and try to win that. Leicester City also will be quite tired. They also had a hectic schedule. And what gives Liverpool a little bit of an advantage is that both Leicester City and Manchester City, two of Liverpool's title rivals, went through to the League Cup semi-finals. So they will have 2 more games in January to contend, and those will not be easy games. Manchester City will play their arch rivals Manchester United, and even though Man United are not the team that they once were, I think Man City won't rest players in the League Cup semi-finals. I think Guardiola will want to win that competition. He wants to win as many trophies as possible, and him seeing probably Premier League as an unlikely trophy to win, he will really go hard in the League Cup, in the FA Cup and in the Champions League. So I think Man City will pretty much play their full strength starting 11 against Manchester United in both semi-finals. Also Leicester City, it's a huge chance for Leicester to win a major trophy for the first time since they won the Premier League. So I think Leicester City will also go hard against Aston Villa in the semi-finals, and that could mean maybe they will get tired a little bit in the Premier League and maybe they will drop points. I mean, Leicester City, after winning like 8 or 9 games in a row, they drew against Norwich and then they lost to Man City, so they dropped 5 points in just 2 game weeks, which shows how quickly it can turn in the title race. And I think that this is a very, very close title race still, even though Liverpool are a lot of points behind. If we lose to Leicester, I think it will be very open again. What we need to do is get at least a draw away at Leicester, but I think that Liverpool can win that, even with our like shaky, a little bit like thin midfield. Our front three, Sadio Mane, Salah and Firmino, will be in top form. They played really well in the Club World Cup, I think, especially Firmino and Salah. And the defense is another worry for Liverpool. We only have Gomez and Van Dijk, 2 fit centre-backs. We just need to survive the next 3 weeks. That's the bottom line. That's what I'm trying to say. And Alan Shearer also thinks that Manchester City still have a glimmer of hope in the title race. He says that Liverpool have been relentless and they fully deserve to be 11 points ahead of City with that game in hand too. Pep Guardiola's champions are probably going to have to go and win every game from now until the end of the season to stand a chance, and they are capable of doing that, of course, but even then it is unlikely that it will be good enough to catch and overcome Liverpool. Their last two performances have been incredible and give a glimmer of hope to Manchester City, bouncing back from the defeat to rivals Man United when they were really poor. Against Arsenal they were simply magnificent, and had they not taken their foot off the gas it could have been a lot more than 3 goals. And then yesterday against Leicester they go behind to that excellent Jamie Vardy goal, and watching it you think here we go again, just like against Manchester United. It was a similar goal to the one Man United scored on the break, space in behind, and that pace, a brilliant finish from Vardy. However, Man City were not having a repeat of their last home game. They stepped on the gas, and the performances of De Bruyne and Mahrez in particular were breathtaking. The way Pep overloaded that right hand side of the pitch to exploit Leicester in terms of positioning and tactics, it was so intelligent, just brilliant. You could say that Leicester should have done something to combat it, but they have their own way of playing. They paid the price. And I think Ben Chilwell, this is just my thinking, I think Ben Chilwell got majorly exposed against Mahrez. Ben Chilwell was one of the most hyped up left backs, and even Chelsea were looking at signing him. But based on that performance, he might not be ready yet for the really top level of English football. But Jurgen Klopp doesn't really want to get into a war of words and the mind games with Guardiola. He actually said that Guardiola is simply the best manager in the world, and this is what Jurgen Klopp said about Guardiola. What he's doing with his team, Man City, is incredible. The way they play, I really like to watch it. Pep and I, we are different, so our teams mirror our character. He's much finer than I am as a person, so he is the gentleman, and I look how I look on the touchline, probably a bit more intense maybe. Liverpool probably play a different style of football. We are more structured and organized, and also we are a little bit more like calculated in terms of how we play. Manchester City like to really have a lot of possession, and Liverpool like to play probably sometimes on the counter-attack. We like to use more long balls, especially in the Club World Cup. We like to use more long balls. I think they are both exceptional teams, Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool and Guardiola's Man City. Liverpool is very enjoyable to watch this season, but it's different to last season. We are a more refined team. We are a more like structured and solid team. We are not as hectic as maybe before, not as much chaos happening, but also we are a lot more efficient. We are just grinding down teams, and in the end it looks like teams just tire against us. And Liverpool scored so many winning goals in 2019. It's just incredible. I mean, just in the Premier League, we won games against Leicester, against Aston Villa, against other teams in the very last minutes, very last seconds of the game, and that's really awesome. Jurgen Klopp thinks it will be very hard for Liverpool to stop an exceptional striker, Jamie Vardy, who is the top scorer in the Premier League with 17 league goals. This is what Jurgen Klopp said. Vardy is an exceptional striker. Since I've come to England, he's probably one of the top 3. He's always scoring, difficult to defend, always on the shoulder, running at your back, playing with the offside line. Really dangerous. But in football, the only thing you can do is try to avoid as many passes to him as you can. That's what we will try. Yet Leicester is not only Jamie Vardy. Brendan Rodgers has done an excellent job there. They are a proper top class team. The quality they have is exceptional. We are not in this situation because we thought things are over before they are over. We are not in the situation we are in the title race because we didn't take each game we played so far 100% seriously. We always have the same focus, and that is what it will be with Leicester. All the talk of if we will do this or do this is absolutely not important and has absolutely no influence. We are pretty good at shutting the doors around us. We just play the next game, and then we have a couple of hours to recover and play the next game, and that's exactly the mindset that you need to have. I don't think Liverpool can think that the title race is even over, even if we beat Leicester City, because we are just at the halfway stage of the season. If we lose to Wolves and we lose to maybe teams like Tottenham, or Man United, then anything can happen. Still, even if we win those games, even if we are like 10 points clear in January, we still can't think the title race is over. We just need to focus on each game, try to win that and go to the next one. And when we are in March and we are, you know, mathematically getting close to winning the title, that's when maybe we can relax a little bit and think maybe we can drop points in 1 or 2 games and it will still be enough. I think that Liverpool really need to take this period seriously. The only thing that can stop Liverpool, I think, are the injury crisis that we have at the moment. If one other centre-back, either Gomez or Van Dijk, goes out, that's when I will be very worried, because we don't have another player who can properly fill in. We don't have a Fabinho who can drop back into defense. Henderson played as a centre-back against Monterrey, and he did an okay job, but against some Premier League teams, especially against teams like Wolves or Leicester, I think we would struggle if Henderson had to play centre-back. But at the moment, let's not even think about it. Let's just concentrate on the Leicester game. And I really hope that you guys enjoying the Christmas holidays. I'm spending it with my girlfriend and her family. And tomorrow I'm going back to my family to spend some time at Christmas with my family. So I will try to upload as many career mode videos as possible, but bear with me. I hope that you are not upset if I don't upload every day during the Christmas period, but probably tomorrow there will be a career mode video coming your way, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching. See you later, guys. Goodbye.